Rusty, so earlier you were talking about cognition, you were talking about culture and coaching, and that's the mindset, the heart set, and the skill set. Let's go to the mindset a little bit. Can you kind of share a little bit more about what that looks like and what you offer?
Sure. All right, so how we view things is how we do things.
Yeah.
So how we think is how we do. It's our worldview. And so we want to delve into that a little bit and uncover and help people understand how they think so that they can recognize how other people think.
Yeah.
Because it's more important for you to communicate with people in the way that they think than it is for you to communicate in the way that you think.
Yeah.
And so I know you've always heard that, people are left brain or right brain.
Yeah.
You're either a linear thinker or you're artistic or you're abstract.
Yeah.
And we metaphorically break those two hemispheres up into 4 quadrants. You have a upper left, upper right, lower right. And so in the Herman whole brain thinking, that's the group that I'm a certified practitioner with. And if you remember, a couple of years ago, we did an assessment with you.
And I feel like you have been talking to my wife.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, the assessment's really good.
Yeah,
I mean, we've got over 6 million people in the databases. 97% of the Fortune 500 companies use this technology and this assessment to understand their people and then help them understand other people. And so we're looking at the 4 ways that we think. And so the upper left is going to be your analytical self.
Okay.
That's the facts and figures, the data-driven person.
Not me.
Not you. You remember it well, right? Yeah. So the lower left is going to be the practical person, which is, the how, the organization, administration.
Yeah.
Here's how we need to get it done, that is you.
Yeah.
Remember, that was a very dominant way that you thought as well.
Yeah.
And then the lower right is the relational side of ourselves. That's our relational thinking, the collaboration, the who, if we want to look at it that way.
Yeah.
That's where our feelings lie. And then our upper right, which is where you live a lot, is the why. That's the experimental. That's the big idea, 30,000 feet, the dreamer.
Yeah.
Actually.
For sure.
And, we all have those capabilities, but we just have some dominant, comfortable ways that we think. And that's what we do. The assessment that you took was the Herman Brain Dominance Instrument. And what it does, we ask you a lot of questions, we'll put you under pressure, and we'll figure out what are your dominant ways that you think in, which quadrants.
Yeah.
And most people have 1 or 2. There's some people that have 3, and I have had people with all 4.
Yeah.
But the idea behind this is let's learn how we think, learn that we may have some blind spots in our thinking, right? So like we talked about, you were very much a upper right why and a very much a lower left how.
Yeah.
Does it mean that you can't stretch into others because you're a pastor? You do relational thinking all the time.
Yeah.
It's just not, you have to stretch into it a little bit. It's a secondary dominance for you, which is fine.
Yeah.
I just want us to think whole brain, right?
I love that because I'm a firm believer in when you learn these things, it helps you become a better person. It helps you become a better leader, but also it alleviates a lot of stress with the people that you're working with.
Oh yeah, gosh, yes.
It gives you insight to how they think, and no longer is it frustrating because you can understand, okay, this is where they're coming from.
Right.
This is why they're doing what they're doing, or this is why they respond the way they are.
It's sort of like, as a pastor, I know you've taught through the 5 love languages, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And what's the main tenet there? It's not the way that you receive love, it's how the other person receives love.
Yes.
And so we have to talk to them in their language, right?
Yeah.
And so for us to better communicate with our employees, it's great to know how we think, but because now we know more about how all people think in the 4 quadrants of the whole brain thinking system, I can pick up, I need to start with facts and figures with this one.
Yeah.
but I got to tell this one who they're going to be working with, or who's going to be on the team.
Yeah.
Right? Or I will pick up sometimes that, oh, this person is really great with ideas, and if we've got a problem that we haven't solved yet, guess who I'm going to go try to get involved in this?
Yeah.
Is my idea guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
What an amazing tool to have.
Absolutely. Let's look at whole brain thinking in action.
Okay.
Years ago at the London Olympics,
Okay.
Coca-Cola Europe was tasked with moving the torch from Athens to London.
Okay.
Right? And so what they did, they just put out on their intranet, say, hey, whoever is interested in doing this project, no overtime, completely, no pay, on weekends, after hours.
Free.
Yeah, you got to work on this free. But what a project, what an opportunity to work on, right? And so they had a lot of people sign up, and so they got together and they started planning how to move the torch from Greece to London. They had about 18 months to do it. They're 6 months in, they ain't got a clue yet. And they brought in a team from Herman. They went in, did the assessments on them, and they figured out they had a bunch of relational people was their dominant way of thinking. Because think about it, I'm volunteering for something I'm not going to get paid for, but I'm going to get to work with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And
fun.
do something cool, relational, right?
Yeah.
And so they were the ones that said, yeah, I want to go do this. But it caused gridlock. It was all about the connection, collaboration without producing a result.
Yeah.
So Herman came in, did some testing, and then they went back and invited other people to come back into the group. And they got other people from the other quadrants. Mm. And I think it was like 6 or 8 weeks. They had the plan already put together.
Yeah, yeah. It took everybody.
It took everybody. It takes your whole brain to fully look at an issue and then solve it.